the line in the middle of both triangles is also 16? Wait, no, it's
The
not.
line in the middle just means that they're
Sorry, I got
congruent.
confused.
Yeah.
I forgot you have to find the hypotenuse of that to get the value of that one. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
tired. Okay. Let me see. All right, yeah, that makes sense. You write that down. Equals, second. And then what do you do after the equals? Oh yeah, because you can just, do you get rid of the bottom square root of 3 or?
Yeah, you divide by square root of 3. And then you have to rationalize down here to get the one of the answers.
Okay, so wait, which it's okay, wait, 1 second, sorry, hold on. Let me write this down. 16. 2, 3, okay. Wait, so how do I combine the square root of 3 with the 16 square root of 2 again?
You multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 3.
Yeah.
So on the
Let me
bottom, it's the
do
square root
it.
of 9. On the top, it's the square root of 6.
Oh,
The square root of 9 is 3. And there is your answer.
16, 6.
Oops, not that one. The one above it.
Okay, wait, let me just look at this for a second so I can understand it. Sorry, 1 sec. All right, and then the square root of 2 that's being multiplied by the 16, that came from the 45, 45, 90 triangle, right?
That's right.
Okay, cool, thanks. 1 second. This real quick. Okay, let me move on to the next problem. 1 second.
Okay, you'll have to share your screen whenever you're ready. It's the one above it.
Wait, I pressed the wrong one, my bad. 50, let me see. This one's, let me just try a different one later. I'll get to that one if I have time. How do I do this one again?
The function of cosine is sine, and then you subtract.
Values.
Say that one more time.
You just do like the reciprocal function stuff or whatever.
Well, kind of. I mean, cosine and sine are cofunctions, and then you subtract the angle from 90. So
Okay,
like tangent and cotangent are cofunctions. Secant and cosecant are cofunctions.
Let me write that down real quick.
I'm also putting it in the notes.
Okay, thanks. Sine. Okay, wait, so what's the first step?
You have to recognize that cosine goes with sine, so it's either B or C. And then you have to subtract the angle that's given from 90.
Wait, how do I determine that it's B or C?
Because they're both sine and the cofunction of cosine is sine.
Okay, yeah, because cosine and sine, they're the reciprocals or whatever, right?
They're not really reciprocals, but if it helped to think of it that way, they're really shifted graphs of each other.
Okay. Um, 1 second. Write that down. And then, what do you do after you determine what the function type is?
You subtract the angle from 90.
Okay. And then does it like change which quadrant it is, or like do you always subtract or add 90 or something?
It's always from 90.
Okay. 1 second. If it's ever like a negative, wait, can you have negative degrees?
You can, it won't be though in this course.
Sweet. 1 second. All right, so 9. It's let me do that one. Let me write that down real quick. Hold on. All right, so that means it's B, right?
You're subtracting the angle from 90, the given angle from 90. 90 minus 25.
Yeah, so it's sine 65.
Yes, yes.
Sweet. Okay, thanks. Find the next one. Secant. This one, I just look at that chart or whatever that says. Oh, let me find the chart. 1 second.
Some reference sheets do have this just given.
Wait, let me find it. Sorry, 1 second. Hold on. I'm trying to find that one thingy that says which values are negative and positive and which functions are negative and positive in which quadrants. Let me see.
Do you want me to share my screen? Explain this?
No, I mean, let me just search it up 1 second. Function values in quadrants. Okay. So it's in 90, 180. So that means it's in quadrant 2, and secant in quadrant 2 is negative. So is it negative?
But you have to cut the angle in half. You see how it's just theta divided by 2?
Wait, why do you have
So
to
that-
cut it in half? Because of the 2 in the denominator?
Yeah, it says that theta is from 90 to 180, but theta divided by 2 is not.
Shoot.
So you have to divide both of those angles by 2.
Okay, so 45 and 90. Does that move
Okay.
it to quadrant 1?
Yes,
Okay, so then secant, well, everything's positive in quadrant 1. So it's
Yes.
positive.
yes.
All right, sweet, thanks. And then this one, I don't think I'll figure that one out later or something. This one, how do I do this one? I
So
divide something by 2. Do I divide the 0? Well, you can't divide 0 by 2. Do I divide the
Are-
360 by -2?
Are you given a unit circle on your test?
I'm gonna bring one with me because I finally got my notes approved.
Okay, so that's important here. Let me just quickly share here. So on this problem, you're looking for where the y value on the unit circle
Yeah.
is minus square root of 2/2. So there's two places. It's over here and then over here. You'll see that on the unit circle.
Okay.
And so the angle measures are just given on the unit circle, 225 degrees and then 315 degrees.
Oh, okay. Then that's easier, I think. All right, let me do that real quick. Is that one? Yeah, okay. 1 second. How do I minimize screen? Oops. I'll just try to hit share screen. There, that's not it. This one. Let me try doing this one by myself. 1 second.
Make sure your calculator is in degrees. That's the only way to make a mistake on this.
Okay. I'm just gonna figure out what cosine is first, and then whatever value that is, can I just use that as the cosine 59?
You can enter this into the calculator all at once, which is what I would recommend.
I can what?
You can put it into the calculator all at once. I would
How do
just
I
do
do
it all
that?
together.
How do I do that? Because
Y-
I have like a handheld calculator right here because that's what I'm supposed to use on the
well,
test.
well, unless does it have a sine or a cosine?
No, because you have to like manually find it. You have to like take sine, then divide by, I don't remember what it was. You have to divide something. Is it one? It's the one divided by the value of whatever, and then you get cosine, I think.
If you don't have a calculator, I mean, this one says you have to use a calculator. There's no way to do this without a calculator.
Yeah, so the stupid hand calculators that we have to use, it doesn't have the, oh wait, hold on, never mind. I thought this said cotangent. My bad. I'm tired. Okay, yeah, forget everything I just said. I was thinking of sine and secant for some reason.
Yeah, those you do have to do exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I have the normal sine, cosine, tangent. I just don't have secant,
Good.
cosecant, and cotangent, but that's not on this one, obviously. So, and then divided by cosine 59. All right, so it's C. Okay, cool. How do I do this one?
So you have to undo, like you just said, you have to write secant as 1 over cosine.
Okay.
I'll share my screen to explain this one.
Okay.
Right, so like you mentioned here, it's really 1 over cosine theta equals 2.848 like that.
Okay.
And so you're cross multiplying here. It's the way a lot of students do it. You're multiplying this direction and this direction. So you're getting 1 equals 2.848 cosine theta, and then you divide both sides by 2.848. And then just switching sides here, cosine theta equals 1 over 2.848. So you undo cosine with cosine inverse.
Okay.
Like that.
And then do I just put that in my
That
calculator?
yeah, that should be a button on your calculator.
Okay, sweet. Okay, I got A.
Good. Yeah, that's correct.
What time do we have until?
About 5:20.
Okay, thanks. Let me see. I can figure this one out. That one's easy.
Okay, good.
Minus 20, blah 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 blah. That one's easy as to persons or whatever. Can I have help with this one?
Sure. I'm gonna grab a snip so I can draw a picture.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so it says that the from the top of a vertical tower, which is called at the top, to the surface of the earth, the angle of depression.
Yeah.
The angle of depression is this one, which is really the same as this one here. 28 degrees 51 minutes. And then the vertical tower is 312 feet. And we're looking for doghouse to the foot of the tower, looking for X. So you have to decide whether this is a sine, a cosine, or a tangent problem.
How do I
So
decide that?
So SOHCAHTOA, you probably saw that at some point or have in your notes the relationships between the sides.
Oh
So
yeah, I forgot. It's sine is opposite over hypotenuse, blah blah blah. I know SOHCAHTOA, yeah.
yeah, so this is a tangent problem. So it's the tangent of 28 degrees and 51 minutes, but you have to convert it to decimal notation. So it's plus 51 divided by 60 equals the opposite, 312 over X.
Okay.
So on the left here, like what some students do is they will calculate this first so that they have a nice number to like 4 decimal places, we'll just say.
Okay, let me put that in my calculator real quick. 1 second. Okay, yeah, I got that.
Right, and then you're just solving for X. So just like the previous problem, you multiply diagonally. So you have X times 0.5509 times X equals 312. And then you divide both sides by 0.5509. Okay, and
All right. I got 566.3459.
okay, so there's one of your answers.
All right. Cool.
You might be able to, these are all pretty close together. I was gonna say you might be able to sort of remove some or eliminate some answers, but doesn't look like it there.
Yeah. I'm gonna do screen share again. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, it's sharing screen. Okay, yeah, cool. This
So
is
I'm
like
seeing
the
your
same
screen.
thing, right?
It's two triangles and you end up having two variables and you solve for one or both, depending on the problem here.
Okay. Wait, can I do the one second? Let me write down this once. Hold on. Do I have like a page? 1 second. See if I can write on this. Can I do like 1 second? Wait, what was I thinking? Okay, yeah.
This will not work, what you're trying to do here.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's the worst. All right.
Do you want
So,
me to snip this and
yes,
or
thank
try?
you.
Okay. The steps here require you to find that
Oh
right
wait, I don't know
triangle
the way I was
first.
thinking that would work. Those triangles aren't similar at all.
They're not, yeah, I mean, that's the
Oops.
main reason.
Yeah, my bad.
All right, so I'm gonna call this side right here X. The tangent of 51.5 equals H divided by X. So then the other thing here is this whole side is 175 plus X. So the tangent of 25.6 equals H over 175 plus X, like that. So you have two equations and two unknowns. Couple of ways to solve it. Most students end up having to solve for X first. So they solve this one for H. H ends up being X tangent 51.5. And that goes into the other equation there. So you have tangent 25.6 equals X tangent 51.5 over 175 plus X. This one's a little bit long. Do you want me to keep going and solving it from here?
Um, yeah, I haven't written it down yet because I'm just gonna write it down from the recording.
Okay. So the next step here is to multiply both sides by the bottom 175 plus X times tangent 25.6 equals X tangent 51.5. And then you multiply both of these by the tangent. So it's gonna be 175 tangent 25.6. And at any point you could calculate tangent 25.6 and tangent 51.5 to 4 decimal places. All right, so just writing down the right side. So now we got to move everything to one side. So I'm going to move everything to the right, I guess. So we have 175 tangent 25.6 equals X tangent 51.5 minus X tangent 25.6. And X is tangent 51.5 minus tangent 25.6. Then you divide both sides by that. So you divide both sides by this on the right. Okay, so once you've done that, you get your value of X. Let me go to the calculator and get that for you.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Divided by. So this ends up being 107.76. That is not the answer though. If you go back, we want H. But to get H, you use this over here on the right. H is 107.76 times the tangent of 51.5.
Okay,
Right.
and then the 107.6, that was the answer of the bottom equation, right?
It's just the value of X, yes.
Okay. Right, let me punch that into my calculator. 1 second. Okay, yeah, I got the 135.4, which is closest to D.
Okay.
Sweet. Do I use the? Oh, let me hold on. Let me do this screen share real quick. 1 second.
All right.
Do I use unit circle or something for this?
This is a reduction problem. You're supposed to use double angle formulas.
What are the, let me pull up double angle formulas, 1 second. Oh, that, okay, yeah, I have, 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread this. You can go, the unit circle problem. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're
Cosine
good.
8, I thought it said 8x. It's 8 pi, and the cosine of 8 pi is just going around the unit circle 4 times, right back to where you started at 0.
Wait, why do you go around it 4 times?
So every time you go around the unit circle, it's 2 pi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then let me pull up unit circle, 1 second. And then you said the answer is it's pi over 2, right?
It's the cosine of 0. So at 0, what is the x value?
Um, wait, the x value is 1, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so cosine of 1, 1 second. It's 0.9998.
No. The cosine of 8 pi is the same as the cosine of 0, which is just 1.
Oh, so
Result
the
is
answer is
just
just
1.
1. Okay, sweet. 1 second. Let me just go tell my bird to be quiet. Hold on.
Sure.
Okay. Can I do this one on my calculator, or
You have to
no?
multiply by pi over 180
Is that for like any
degrees
degree?
to radians. Yes.
Okay. Pi over 180. So 1 second times, where's the pi button?
Now you notice all the answers have a pi in it, so you would generally leave
Oh,
out the pi in your calculation. You just do
yeah, I kind
minus 45 over 180.
of wait. I got negative 0.7853.
Okay, you're just taking 45 and dividing it by 180. No pi.
Okay.
Because all the answers have a pi in it already, that's already accounted for.
I got 0.25. Is that
Yes.
okay? Sweet. Let's see. This one's the wait. Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
Yep, this time you can put the pi in because none of the answers have a pi in it. So you're gonna multiply by pi over 180.
Okay. 31 times 1 second. All right, I got D.
Okay, looks good.
Cool. This one I use the unit circle for, right? Do I use the unit
No.
circle?
The cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent.
All right.
So whatever the tangent of pi is, you flip it.
All right. Wait.
And if that's not clear, I can share. It's you can also think of it as the cosine of pi over the sine of pi.
Does it say the cosine of pi on the unit circle, or do I put it into my
Yes.
calculator?
Yeah, it's on the unit circle.
Okay. All right, let me find it 1 second. How do I find it? Because I don't like see the cosine. I don't see cosine written anywhere on the circle.
It's the cosine is the x value.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oops. The cosine of 0. Okay, let me find it. Is it 1?
Cosine of pi is -1.
Oh, why didn't I see that? I was looking at 0. My bad. So the cosine -1. And then
Sine of pi is the y value there.
sorry, what? The sine of pi is the y. Yeah.
Yes.
The y value is 0.
Okay, so that's -1 divided by 0. Is that possible?
No,
That's
but that's fine.
undefined.
Is cotangent on? How do I determine like cotangent and stuff? Does that matter?
Yeah, they all matter. Cosine over sine. I mean, it could be tangent, could be secant, could be cosecant. They're all reciprocal identities. They're in a reference sheet if you need them.
Oh, do you have that?
Sure, I'll send over something in the chat here.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. How do I do this one?
Like, get there in a moment. Just need to drop this in the chat.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so there is a formula for the relationship between arc length and the central angle. I'll grab a snip of that, share my screen.
Okay.
All right, so let me new share. All right, find the length of the arc intercepted by the central angle. So the angle here, this is called S, this is called R. The relationship is S equals R theta. So they're giving you the two values. They're giving you 25.26 for the radius. And they're telling you it's 19 pi over 18 for the angle.
Okay.
So you just multiply those together.
All right, let me do that 1 second. Wait, where do I put the pi symbol?
You just multiply the top numbers. So 25.26 times 19 times pi,
Okay.
and then divided by 18.
All right, let me find that real quick. All right, I got C.
Okay, sounds reasonable.
Right, cool. 1 second. All right, use the distance formula for this, right?
It's actually the same formula we just did. You just have to calculate the angle this time, which is the difference between them, and then convert to radians.
You have to what the angle?
You have to find the angle between the two cities, which is the difference between them. 67 minus 58, and then you have to convert it to radians.
Okay.
Then multiply by the radius.
67 minus 58 is 9. Wait, how do I convert 9 to radians?
You multiply by pi over 180.
Oh yeah, I remember. Times 1 second. Pi over 1. My calculator only gives decimals.
That's fine. We'll take that number and multiply it by the radius, which is 6,400.
Okay. I got 2.454369.
Okay, so that's not there. There must be some issue with the conversion here. Let me double check. All right, so you said 9 degrees, which is fine. And then you multiply that by pi over 180.
Yeah,
And did you get 0.15707?
I got 0.157079632.
Okay, so then multiply that number by the 6400.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to divide. My bad. Can you reread the number again? Because I just cleared my calculator.
It's 1005 for this one.
It was 0.57. What?
0.15708.
15708. Okay, and then times 6400. All right. Okay, yeah, I got C.
Good.
Cool. Blah, blah, blah. Can you do a snip of this one? I think.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, suppose the tip of the minute hand of a clock is 15 inches from the center. Determine the distance traveled by the tip of the minute hand in 30 minutes. So we need to know how far did this thing go in 30 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
To do that, you have to remember, if you haven't seen a clock in a while, right? There's 12, and then there's 1, and then if you go all the way around, there's 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and 3 is there. So 1 hour would be 30 degrees, but we only are going half an hour. So that's half of 30, 15 degrees. 15 degrees, well, we have to multiply by pi over 180 to make it in radians. So the distance traveled, S equals R theta, is 15 times 15 times pi over 180.
Okay, let me put that in real quick. Hold on 1 second. Times I over 180. I got 3.926.
So notice all the answers have
Yeah,
pi's in them. So
how do
you just
I fix
you
that?
don't put the pi in your calculation. So
Oh,
and I think I might have made a mistake here with the actual. That was the minute hand. Oh, sorry, the minute hand. I'm thinking of the hour hand. The minute hand moves 180 degrees in 30 minutes.
okay.
So that's going to change this up a little bit. So you just don't include the pi when you're
Okay.
going to the calculator.
180
Times 15 over 180.
times. Wait, let me put that in parentheses 1 second. 180 times 15 divided by 1. Okay. Yeah, I got 15.
Okay, 15 pi is the correct answer.
All right, cool. Let me do that real quick.
Okay, this is a unit circle question.
Okay, so cotangent. Yeah, let me.
Unfortunately, cotangent's not on there, but cosine and sine are.
Oh, so I just do it as cosine.
You need to find cosine of minus 5 pi over 6. That's the numerator. And then sine of minus 5 pi over 6 as the denominator.
Okay.
So what a lot of students do is they go to 5 pi over 6, and then they just drop down vertically for the negative. They drop down to the other one.
What do you mean drop down to the other one?
Let me share my screen here. That should
Yeah.
make all the difference here. So notice on your unit circle, there's no negatives, but 5 pi over 6 is right there. So you drop down to that one, which is 7 pi over 6. The 7
Okay.
pi over 6 is the same as minus 5 pi over 6.
Okay. Where, so what do I do then?
You have to get the cosine, which is the x value there, and then the y value for sine there.
Okay, let me put that into my calculator. Hold on.
It's not a calculator problem. It's just
Oh,
it's getting those values from the unit circle.
okay, so I just I put the the 5. Wait. I don't use the calculator for anything.
And you can, but then you're gonna have to compare all your answers to these to determine which is the same.
No, that sounds more difficult, I think. So what do I do after writing the cosine and the -5 pi/6 in the numerator and the sine -5 pi/6 in the denominator?
Yeah, you have to find those values in the unit circle. So again, 5 pi/6 is right
Oh,
there, which you don't want that. You want the negative. So you go down there, you want these values.
okay.
Cosine is the x value. Y is the
One over,
sine is the y value.
okay. Um,
This reduces to just the square root of 3.
um, wait, how do you solve that to the square root of 3?
They have the same bottoms, so you just keep the tops and signs cancel.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I see it now. Let me do that. 1 second. Let me just do this real quick. Um, Can you do a screen snip of this one too?
I can, I think I can talk you through it faster. It's the tangent is y over x, and you have a y value and an x value there.
Okay, so let me 7/25 over, wait, no, my bad. I meant -24/25 over 7/25.
Yes.
Um, okay, let me.
And notice again, the bottoms are the same. So it just becomes the top.
Oh, so 24 divided by 7. Wait, no,
Ne-
you cheated
negative.
there. Is it C?
Yes.
Cool. Let's see. How do I do this one?
Yeah, so this one's pretty tough. You have to solve for sine squared s. And I can do that here.
Okay,
A
yeah, I
snip.
can do this. Yeah, thanks.
All right, so the start of this problem is you solve for sine squared s, which is 3 divided by 4. But then you take the square root of both sides, but it's plus or minus. So it's sine s equals plus or minus the square root of 3 over 4, over square root of 4.
Did you
Which
get the 3/4 from the 4 and sine and the s equals 3?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so now what you're looking for is where on the unit circle is the y value positive square root of 3 over 2 minus square root of 3 over 2.
Um,
So there's, I'll snip in the unit circle again. There's gonna be 4 places.
okay. So the answer is gonna be either B or D, right?
Yeah, so positive square root of 3 over 2 is right there. Square root of 3 over 2 minus square root of 3 over 2. It's just, this is y value, right? Yeah, sine. And then right here as well. So those are your 4 places where the y value is.
Okay, so it's B.
Yeah.
Awesome. Uh, do we have time for another one or is the time up?
It depends. If it's something quick, we can try.
Let me just share a screen real quick. Is this one fast enough or should I choose a different one?
This one is not fast. No. I mean,
Okay.
actually, I take that back. No, this is,
Oh,
they give you all
hold on.
the,
Let me
I
go
can
back.
just talk you, I can just talk you through it.
Okay.
They give you S, R, and T, and they want you to find W. So you're just solving for that middle letter there.
Okay, so I just plugged, okay, let me write that down. All right, so S equals pi of 3 equals R is 3 2 oh, okay, hold on, I see. Six, wait, how did you get the pi over 18?
You divide both sides by 6, or you can think of it as multiplying each side by 1/6. Either way, we'll give you the same result.
Wait, it's wait. One second. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, okay, so you did, so because when you divide by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal, so that's why, because 3 times 6 equals 18. Does it, wait,
Right.
okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna stop here. Thank you so much, and